Hello and welcome to the Happy Families podcast. Oh my goodness, every now and again stuff hits the news that means we have to do one of these. It's This Week in Parenting. I love doing that. It makes me so happy. Why are you looking at me like that? Even Sky News has covered this. So there's a TikTok video that's gone viral where a little girl has been bullying, certainly been unkind to kids at school. She's going to be suspended. Dad has to go to the school and pick her up. And, well, we're going to tell you what happened and why this went viral right after this. Stay with us. Hello and welcome to the Happy Families podcast, where you get real parenting solutions every single day. This is Australia's most downloaded parenting podcast. We are Justin and Kylie Coulson, the parents of 6 kids, and today we have parenting solutions for you up the wazoo. That's what my dad used to say. I don't know what a wazoo is, and I don't know why you'd want to go up the wazoo, but we've got solutions everywhere. Kylie, let me set the scene. It's on TikTok. Can I just say this out loud? Please don't try to get your parenting advice from random people on social media. Like, if you want to be a good parent, the last place you want to go is TikTok, listening to randoms who are struggling with their parenting and getting it so wrong. So anyway, now that I've said that, oh my goodness, it drives me crazy. All of our major news outlets in the last week have reported on an American dad who was called into the school because his daughter had been bullying, quote unquote bullying, certainly being mean to kids in her school. So much so, she was so mean that twice in one day, people put hands on her to hurt her because she was being so unkind. This is messy at every level. He goes into the school and I guess it's the school principal or somebody who's in charge starts explaining what's going on.
Kelly's not just suspended for that.
It says 2 days, but we're counting today and tomorrow.
Yeah. This semester, she's given. You ever seen that movie Mean Girls? Before with Lindsay Lohan, Regina George, that whole thing? That's what she's acting like. Walking around bullying people, calling them out their names, talking about their parents, talking about their clothes, their smell, just get anything to provoke these kids. So today, there's a little Hispanic boy in her class. She kept getting in his face talking about something. That's why Trump this and something like that.
It's really interesting because at the start of the clip, you've got this kid saying, "What are you doing here?" And I don't even know why you're here, which I'm not sure is honest.
Come on. Do anything. I didn't.
Come on.
I didn't.
It's okay. Come on. It's okay.
Tell me what I did.
It don't matter. Come on, let's go.
Dad, what did I even do?
The dad interrupts the flow of the video so that he can give his own commentary.
Whoa. Nah. I know my child. I know up until this point you ain't said nothing that was a lie. I got to do better. I'm trying to train her up the right way. This is kind of difficult. We still figuring it out. But now what the hell my baby say about Trump to a Hispanic? Like, I don't know nothing about that.
And then to make a long story short, he takes his daughter over to grandma's house because he doesn't know what to do. And grandma takes kiddo down to the police station so that the police station can scare the living heck out of this kid so that this child will never bully again.
I know Kenzie walked in there, turned around, looked at me like, "Daddy, you really gonna let her do this to me?" And clearly I ain't doing enough.
Kylie, there is so much here. Where do you want to start?
I just want to say that while I don't necessarily agree with his methods, it is so refreshing to see a parent who actually recognizes that their child is not perfect and they're actually willing to take responsibility for their role in helping children to learn appropriate behaviour.
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now that is, in my mind, the only positive in this entire thing.
I agree. But as we have dealt with so many challenges over the years as our children have navigated tricky relationships, I don't think I have ever met a parent who's been willing to sit in an uncomfortable place and acknowledge that their child may not have acted in the best way.
Yeah. So we call it using your or or being in bed. So using your or, ownership, accountability, and responsibility, being in bed, blame, excuse, and denial.
And the amount of times I have heard someone say, well, what did your child do to provoke?
Right, exactly. I can't, my child can't be fully responsible.
So I understand that we're going to go on a totally different road, but I needed to say that because I just feel like we
Just
get so caught up in wanting our children to be good people, and we think that if they're not good people, then it is a slight against us.
From that point on, everything is wrong.
Yes.
Everything is wrong, which is frustrating because the comments, and the fact that this is blown up is because the comments essentially are everybody and their dog being on social media and on the news sites saying, good on this dad, he nailed it, we need more parents doing this. No, we don't. And it's not, I know you're laughing and it's kind of funny, but it's not.
It's not.
It's really bad. So where do we start? Number one, this child is, you've seen the clip, how old do you reckon the child is? 8, 9?
Yeah.
Something like that? Yeah, that's where I'm going. I don't think she's any older than that, but 8 or 9. Can kids be mean and even bully? 100% yes. Should we take responsibility as parents to teach our children the right thing to do? 100% yes. But now, because of this approach, this 9-year-old is scared of grandma because grandma's giving dirty looks and then saying, you can't do that and I'm taking you to the police. So how likely is it that this kid is going to grow up and be like, oh, I'm struggling with something. I should go and talk to my grandma about this. Kiddo is now scared of police, even though the police were being nice. Grandma's getting mad at the police for not being mean enough.
You're too nice. I don't want babies to be scared of police. I was about to say, I don't want our babies to be scared of police now.
And what we've also got here is I think that this child's going to be scared of dad because dad is not being nice. Dad is not working things out. Dad's just saying, we're going to go and talk to grandma and then we're going to the police station. So even dad's not willing to work with the child on the problem. And there definitely are problems here that need to be worked on. Oh, and I don't have a problem with parents asking for help, but I feel like this dad is just abrogating his responsibility. Maybe I'm being a little bit harsh here, but seriously, like, man up, be the dad. Be the parent.
I know I'm laughing because it's a little bit comical how social media has the power to just
gets under our skin.
Blow things up.
Yes.
And blow things out of proportion. However, there is a story that you have told over the years that highlights this situation in such a powerful way. It was about a young boy who brought peanuts to school one day,
right,
and threw them in front of the face of a child who was anaphylactic and said,
I'm going to kill you with this.
Yeah.
True story. Happened on the New South Wales Central Coast probably about I was right at the very start of when I was doing the parenting stuff, so it would have been nearly 20 years ago. Yeah.
And I love the advice that you gave to that mum that day. Would you like to share?
I can't remember what I said. I remember the story.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but you can remember the advice, obviously. It's probably in harmony with the advice I'm going to give in a second. But what is the parenting solution that I gave?
Well, the parent was rung. The school explained to her what had happened and she needed to come to collect her child.
Yeah.
And she gave you a phone call.
Right.
Before she even got there.
Yep.
She said, this is what's happened. What am I supposed to do? And you asked her what she wanted to do?
Yeah, I think it was, I want to put him through the wall or something like that.
Yeah. And she then asked you, but what am I supposed to do? And your response was just one of absolute love and acknowledgement that this little boy, in spite of what he had done, was struggling for whatever reason, in whatever space. There was something going on for him that was making him act in such a poor way. He knew that he'd done the wrong thing. He already knew that. He didn't need her to come in heavy-handed. He didn't need her to make him feel any worse. He already felt worse. And the idea that she could be a soft place for him to come so that they could actually have connection and the potential for her to utilize that time to teach him better ways to act only comes through being soft, not coming down hard.
Okay, so some people will hear what you're saying and think, oh, here we go, namby-pamby, cotton wool, bubble wrap, gentle parenting. It's not what this is. After the break, I have another story that I think is even more powerful and more pertinent that will illustrate not just what not to do, but also precisely what needs to happen in this kind of situation. I can't wait to share it. Stay next. We're back. This is the Happy Families podcast. If you're enjoying the pod, please share it with your friends, your neighbours, other parents, anyone that you think would benefit from the stuff that we share to make families happier. Okay, we've got a situation where there's been some bullying, some unkindness. There's a child who needs to learn how to be civil, courteous, considerate of others. And the solution that the dad comes up with is go to grandma and then get grandma to take child to the police so that the police and grandma can scare the heck out of the child so that they'll never do the wrong thing again. Research shows this doesn't work. There's a story that I shared in one of my books, 21 Days to a Happier Family, about 10 years ago, 15 years ago when I wrote that book, that has always stayed with me and that I think is perfectly pertinent for this scenario. A young girl was in trouble at school. She was in her, I think, grade 10, so I think she was about 15. She created an explicit website featuring one of her classmates with a whole lot of Photoshop and superimposed faces on explicit images of other people and their bodies, and shared the website with a whole lot of people and really just tried to cause genuine harm to the reputation of this girl that she didn't like in her class. Horrible stuff. Anyway, the school found out about it. Mum gets called in. The great irony is that the mum, in this instance, was working in the laboratory of a university professor who studied cyberbullying. And now her 15-year-old daughter has been called into the office for doing some absolutely breathtakingly horrendous cyberbullying, some of the worst stuff that you could probably imagine. And the mum is just freaking out. She's like, how could you do this? What is going on? Why? Where did this come from? And she basically had this massive fight with her daughter that lasted for day after day after day. She confiscated screens, confiscated computers, threatened to get the police involved. The other family were threatening that as well. I mean, this thing just blew up. And all that happened is that her daughter got worse and worse, started taking drugs, grades went down even further, started wagging school. Like this thing just blew up. It got to the point where this mum took the door off her daughter's bedroom so that she could monitor her and so that she could really prove that she meant what she said when she said this girl was in trouble. Anyway, time passes and they eventually get back onto talking terms. We're talking weeks down the track, 6-8 weeks. And then Mum has this brainwave. She's like, me doing the tough stuff isn't working. Has a conversation with her daughter and ends up buying her a puppy. So fast forward another couple of months and they're out on a walk one afternoon, walking the puppy. The relationship has healed a little bit more. And while they're chatting about life, they walk past some boys not far away in the park who are throwing stones at a bird in its nest up in a tree. And the mum's just saying, like, what are they doing? And the girl's getting really upset. And then the mum has this flash of inspiration. And she says, see how those boys are throwing the rocks at the bird in the tree and at the nest, and you're getting really upset about it? Well, in the same way, the other parents of that girl that you were in trouble for at school, that's how they felt. They felt like you were throwing stones at their daughter in a nest up high in the branches of a tree. And this mum described how when she had that conversation with her daughter, there was all of a sudden this massive empathy influx. And this girl suddenly realized, oh, I get it. I was causing real harm. Like this could have been really, really bad. She said it was the first time that she'd cracked it. But then as they started to talk more, a very important detail that I haven't shared yet came out. As they talked about what was going on and the reasons for this girl's behavior, turns out that about a year before it all blew up, this lady had lost her husband. This girl had lost her dad. He'd passed away unexpectedly. And the family was in turmoil. And as a result, Mum had to go back to work. That's why she was working in that university professor's lab studying cyberbullying. That's why she wasn't available to her daughter. That's why her daughter was so upset. Doesn't excuse the behavior, but it helps to understand why this girl was just reeling. She didn't have the support that she needed. And unfortunately, like too many people, because she was hurt, she decided to lash out in an unproductive and unhelpful way. The solution is not fear. The solution is not tyranny. The solution is not anger
Well, she would never have had that conversation if she had have continued with the same line approach that she had in the beginning.
So, as you
That's
said,
why it's taken so long.
that's right. And as you said, when we kind of deviated off the script a little bit with the story that you shared that I couldn't really remember in the first part of the podcast, you said we need softness. And it's not softness because we're going to let the kids get away with everything, nor are we going to pander to their poor little feelings. It's not that kind of gentle parenting softness. It's softness as in, I'm going to create a level of safety here where you and I can problem solve. And the best problem solving in an incident like this is problem solving through empathy. We want our child to be able to take the perspective of the victim, of the person who's being bullied, in this case of the Hispanic kid who's now being threatened because Trump's going to send the ICE agents in and deport you, right? So if we can have empathy, if we can help our children to experience empathy, to take the perspective of another person, to stand in their shoes, we can have much more productive conversations around solving the problem of unkindness, cruelty, bullying.
But that only happens when we are able to step into the shoes of empathy ourselves.
Yeah, and see how our child is feeling and engage with them at that level.
Like that's the step that parents miss so often because our natural response is to crack down, get hard, be harsh.
Yeah.
And yet if we would take the opposite approach, we actually get to show our kids in real time what it looks like to take someone else's perspective in that moment.
Here's my provocative take. That dad, that grandparent, they became bullies to that little girl.
Yeah. The big person wins. They just repeated the process.
Exactly. They didn't help her. They didn't teach her. We need to wrap this up. Our time is well and truly done. Let me say this really clearly. Don't get your parenting advice from social media. And if you are getting it from social media, make sure it's from people who are credible and who have actually got solutions and something to share with you that works. Because this sort of stuff, making it into our mainstream media and turning into part of the parenting discourse, the narrative that's in our community, it's going to damage kids, it's going to damage families, and it's going to lead to negative outcomes, not positive outcomes. Hopefully, the stuff that we've shared just now provides some more hopeful and helpful ways forward if you and your family are struggling with these kinds of challenges. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media. Mim Hammonds provides our additional support for the pod. And if you'd like more info to make your family happier, we'd love for you to check us out at happyfamilies.com.au or jump onto our social pages.